Hello, VC, Waxed here. And I just got back from DC proper into the suburbs here in Northern Virginia. And I got to visit the first opening of a kick-ass record store. So shout out to Zep Pearl Vance, because he let me know this guy he knew from YouTube, Secco Funk. I think Mike Notes and Tones knows of him too. He just opened a record store in DC right next to Howard University. And today, Black Friday, was their first day. So I didn't go to any Black Friday sales, figuring that anything I want, which is minimal, I'll get tomorrow. But I went and I dragged a couple of my nephews and my niece with me. Well, one of them drove with no traffic on Black Friday down to DC to check out the store. And I've shot some footage of me walking around the store and flipping and stuff. And it's a cool store. Best first opening of a record store I've been to. The guys there are awesome. And I'll leave links to the store and their social media here. They were all great. They all knew what they were doing and very nice. And I bought a lot of records from them. Also, I'm going to show a few records I bought at some other DC stores a couple days ago. Not much, but the killer stuff I got from them. Their prices are great. Their selection's great. Mostly jazz, and there's blues and soul stuff. There, I saw a little bit of rock, but obviously I wasn't interested in nice wall records. But I think the records in the bin at normal stores would be wall records. So I showed this in my other video when I went to the record show, where I bought a copy of this Archie Shepp. Again, I'm not pronouncing the title. And it was a reissue cover, and inside was the magic of Juju. Well, this is the right record. This seems to be an OG on MPS. And very nice. I got a lot of records to show if I keep pulling out every one, but there you go. On MPS. There you go. And again, I'm not revealing the prices, but the prices were killer. So this is a good one. But wait, there's more. Obviously, like anyone else, I've been looking for a copy of this. This is John Coltrane Ascension. This is a stereo copy. Obviously, it says that in the corner. And it appears to be an OG copy of it. With Van Gelder and the Deadwax. And, I mean, all the records were fairly priced depending on what kind they were. And this appears to have marks on it and stuff. It was not hugely expensive. That's why I didn't mind picking it up. So there you go. Beautiful on that. Another record I've been looking for, In the Shrink. Delightfully, Lee Morgan. This is a 1970s reissue because it has not the ugliest label, but why switch from the blue label? I know there's the full blue with the black or white B, but this is nice. And I don't know if this is one of his more shout out videos. You guys can tell me in the comments. But killer lineup. Joe Henderson, McCoy Tyner, Bob Cruikshank, and Billy Higgins. So, In the Shrink, nice. Again, prices were good. This was sealed. He had a wall of like backup records as storage, and I just went into one of them and found this sealed. So he sold it to me. And although I have it, this is sealed. This is one of the best Pablos you can get, with just Duke and Ray Brown. Killer. Been looking for this. This is a Japanese pressing. Blues for Dracula. I noticed a lot of people have gotten it. I'm guessing this is a 70s pressing. Has that milestone green label, even though Riverside. But yes, I found a copy. Nice condition. This is an interesting pickup. This is Paul Chambers Sextet, Whims of Chambers. I have that twofer that has most of this record in it. And this is a later stereo reprocessed from mono. Donald Byrd, John Coltrane, Kenny Burrell, Horace Silver, Paul Chambers, and Philly Joe Jones. And this is a 70s reissue, Black Bee. So, interesting there. Okay. We're not even tipping the iceberg here. There's more to tip on this iceberg. Okay. You got Billy Harper. Japanese pressing on Denon. The only way I've seen to get this is from Japan with the shipping. But it was great to pick this up. Soren Bushi BH. On that Denon label, nice Japanese plastic sleeve. This was great to get because I didn't have to pay all the shipping for it. So, been looking for that. This, The Artistry of Freddie Hubbard. I have a copy, an OG of this. This is a 70s green label pressing on ABC. But this is a killer record. I think this is like my favorite Freddie Hubbard. With Art Davis, Louis Hayes, John Gilmore, Tommy Flanagan, and Curtis Fuller is on this. And this is stereo reissue. So it was cool to pick that up. This is what's funny because back in LA, I had noticed what Record Safari had posted for today. And I go, damn, I wanted a copy of that. And what did you know? I found a copy of it here at Decibel. Black Narcissus, Joe Henderson on Milestone. Mowing, there you go. And this, not a lineup I know a lot of these guys on. And I don't know, I mean, I think every Joe Henderson record should be desirable, but I don't think this is one of his more desirable or harder to get Milestone records. Correct me. Okay, I had picked up one of these last week and Jazz Bum Chris wanted it, so I found a copy for Jazz Bum Chris of Lee Morgan at the Lighthouse. A little wary one, but nevertheless a copy for Chris. So I'm sure he'll be happy with it. I know I have mine on the Dark Bee. I think maybe it came out with this label. So this is a true OG with Van Gelder and the Dead Wax. So Chris will be happy that I found this. So there you go, Chris. I had sold an OG of this, or maybe a second pressing to Felipe Jazzbum, but I found a copy in the shrink of a reissue, not an OG, with that same label. And Van Gelder and the Dead Wax stereo of Johnny Coles. I know this was reissued as a Blue Note Classic. Okay, this is one of the most desirable records. I actually have a copy, picked up another one, because you don't find this a lot. The Visitors in My Youth on Muse. I think there are 3 or 4 Visitor records. So there you go. Yeah, nice. I don't know how I found them. This I'm gonna keep. This is probably a second issue. This is that Horace Silver with J.J. Johnson, the Cape Verdean Blues. This is a United Artists. Okay, this brings up a question that I would like someone to answer for me because I'd seen it once before. Okay, a Blue Note label with black printing for the title in the record number. I think I found a record once thinking maybe this was some sort of bootleg, but it is not. Is it the London Jazz Collector who wrote something about this? Someone can answer this for me. Van Gelder and the Dead Wax. But I want to find out the reason that some Blue Notes were printed with black ink. Someone has the answer. Maybe I'll search more. But this is a killer lineup on here. Woody Shaw, J.J. Johnson, Joe Henderson, Horace Silver, Bob Cruikshank, and Roger Humphreys on drums. Very interested to listen to this. Nice to find a United Artists pressing. of this. Okay. Whenever I find these, I pick them up. I have most of them. This is those Blue Note reissue series from the 70s, Sam Rivers. I believe 2 of these were sort of reissued, maybe in Japan or something. I think one's an Andrew Hill record. I forget what it's called. Mark Glassman, correct me. And one's a Sam Rivers record. But I don't know if they've been issued on vinyl. Maybe they have. I know CD. This is killer if you find it. I have another one in here somewhere. I mixed them all up. Jackie McLean, Strange Blues on Prestige. Killer lineup, Webster Young, Ray Draper, Mal Waldron, John Myers. It says John Myers on here. There's John Mayers. I saw him like a month ago in Santa Monica playing. He's like in his 80s. Art Phelps, Bill Salter, Art Taylor, and Larry Ritchie. This is the one I have, Blue Trident, upside down. Blue Trident, and yeah, that's it. Not a Van Gelder. That's what I was looking. I've been looking for this. This artist, Heirs to Freedom, The Ringer, Charles Tulliver, with Stanley Cowell, Steve Nafsell, and Jimmy Hops. From when did this? This was these Heirs to Freedoms are reissues of Hard to Get records. This was put out in '75. I don't know when the original record was put out and what it was called, but I've been looking for this. Nice condition. And my never-ending quest to fill my Archie Shepp collection. This is another one of those Denon Japanese digital reissue, Ladybird. On here with him, I see Cecil McBee. There's Lewis Hayes and Jackie Byard are on here with him. They're on the back. I now know them by picture. Cecil McBee, Lewis Hayes, and there's Jackie Byard underneath Obi with Archie. Okay, next, the tenor scene with Lockjaw and Johnny Griffin. Who else is on there? Junior Mance, Larry Gales, and Ben Riley. This is an OG. He had a nice dollar bend. So look at that, OG mono with RVG. It's pretty scuffy, but I'm interested for not spending that much money to clean this up and see how it sounds. So, because I have the Chad reissue. This looked interesting to me, so I picked it up. I know nothing of, people could correct me, this Sadiq Hakim plays Duke Ellington. This was done from Canadian Radio International, 1974. And I don't really know many of the people on here. Dale Hillary, Michael Stewart, Brian Liddell, Clayton Johnson, and Bob Boucher. I think I know Bob Boucher. So if anyone knows anything about this record, let me know. Okay. Always pick these up. Can't go wrong with the Chico on Impulse with Charles Lloyd, Gabar Sasbo, and Albert Stinton. And this is a weird, I've never seen this type of stereo sticker put on a mono cover. It's always like a black, smaller sticker. But that's interesting that have that sticker on there. All Killer Records. I believe this is an OG on Celebrity. Here's Hope. Elmo Hope with Paul Chambers and Philly Joe Jones. I think it was reissued in the 80s. Like these, I think this is a label out of DC. VSOP. They're from DC. Does it say it on here? Ones I've gotten, but I don't know Celebrity. The Celebrity. But this if this is a true OG, which I have to look up, there's not the 80s reissue. It's, yeah, the price on this was killer. But I could be wrong. I was listening to it a little bit. It sounds pretty good. All right, OG Riverside Stereo, Bobby Timmons. Sweet and Soulful Sounds. This is with Sam Jones and Roy McCurdy. From, it doesn't say a year, but it's easy. the 60s, early 60s on the Riverside Stereo label. So we'll see how that cleans up. This is a sealed OJC with the Yusef Lateef. Other sounds. I think I have a twofer with this one in it. But a sealed OJC with the hype. So that was cool. Another Antonio Carlos Jabim Tide. This is it's pre-CTI on, I think it's a Creed Taylor produced record. And this is on that A&M label. Might have been some of these are Van Gelders. I am not seeing it in this one. So, A&M. This is cool. I have a twofer with this album in it. And this is for musicians only. Dizzy Gillespie, Stan Getz, and Sonny Stitt. Who else is on here? Herb Ellis, Ray Brown, Steve Levy, John Lewis. I don't have a twofer with this. I'm thinking the one with Sonny Rollins and Dizzy and Sonny Stitt. So Verve Records. I guess maybe this is a reissue because it originally probably came out on Gantz's first label, whatever that's called. You could correct me, people. I still have more records to show. I have a copy of this, but I picked up another one. This is the Dizzy Gillespie soundtrack to the movie The Cool World. This is a must-own as far as I'm concerned. It's just a killer. It's Dizzy playing, not like stuff I've heard. It's really, because I think the movie does it deal with drug use and stuff? It's kind of, you know, a cool lineup of a lot of people. This is on Philips. Cool label, Philips. This thing's very nice. I'll sell when it cleans up. All right, here's that other twofer, Walter Hill twofer. The first sessions with Charles Tulliver, Ron Carter, Ben Riley, Patrick, and Benny Maupin from 1970. And then the second sessions from 69, there's 3 sessions. 69 with Benny Maupin, Ron Carter, and Freddie Waits, and then Joe Henderson, Freddie Hubbard, Richard Davis, and Joe Chambers from 65. Must own. All right, I have a couple Idris Muhammad records I picked up. This is Power of Soul. Bob James on the kind of sister label to CTI Kudu. A lot of people on here. Bob James, Ralph McDonald, Grover Washington Jr., Joe Beck, Gary King, and Randy Brecker. And on that Kudu label, nice. Okay. Another is Power of Soul. Wait, are these just 2 different covers? I picked up 2 versions of Power of Soul, 2 different covers. So, In Your Face, the waxed. So, the 2 different versions. Interesting. I'm going to save, well, I'm just showing them as I grab them. This one I really been looking for. It's Pharoah Sanders Live at the East on Impulse, 72. With Stanley Clark, Cecil McBee, Joe Bonner, Norman Connors, Harold Vick. This is weird. Larry Killian, William Hart, Marvin Peterson, Marvin Hannibal, Carlos Cadet. But is that misspelling that Harold Vick has no K on his name? Just a C, V-I-C? Interesting. But this came out as an ABC Impulse. There you go. So, very excited to pick up this. Always picking up Pharoah Sanders. The Master, Pepper Adams on Muse with Tommy Flanagan, George Mraz, and Larry Williams. Looks perplexed there. And I think I have a Japanese copy of that. Oh, white label promo. Can't go wrong with that. So, This is an OG copy from the dollar bin, and so I'm interested to see how much it cleans up. So this is a killer find. Etta James at last. I don't know. I guess that's a mono on that Argo. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look the best, but I want to see how it cleans up. And I didn't pay that much. This one I bought mainly for the cover to swap out with mine. Pharoah Sanders Karma. You know, when it rains it pours. I already have an OG copy of this and the reissue. So, yeah, this doesn't look the greatest, but the cover's in excellent shape, and that's the reason I bought it. So, let's see if I can put it back in here without any issue. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Shove it in. All right. A few more left. Ahmad Jamal, 73. I know a lot of people have this and say it's quite good. I have that hard to find Ahmad Jamal. Jamal plays Jamal. Not in the best shape. Again, these were mostly from their dollar bin section. So let's see how those sound. Here's another one. I had bypassed this once before. This is the Wynn Kelly Trio with Paul Chambers, Jimmy Cobb, Kenny Burrell, and Candido on Verve. And it has a very non-thrilling gatefold inner. And on the Verve OG, this doesn't look in horrible shape, and it's a Van Gelder. So happy to pick that up. Last two, still in the shrink. This Jackie McLean 456. Do I have 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know. Donald Byrd, Hank Mobley, Mal Waldron, Doug Watkins, and Art Taylor. And this is a blue label, blue Trident label. Not in the best shape. But again, I picked these up, you know, to see how they will clean up and sound. So maybe I'll have a surprise. And then another last one is a water damage cover of Up at Milton's stereo, Stanley Tarantine, Grant Green, Horace Paralon, George Tucker, and Al Hayward. And this is one of those 70s on the reissues. And I think this needs to be clean, and it'll probably sound really good because it has some of that stains from the water damage. So that was a killer pickup at Decibel. Again, kick-ass store, great people, great prices. And unlike a lot of the stores in DC, which you have to take a train to and then get on a bus and then walk and ride a bike and fly, this is right at a metro stop. It's near Howard University. So anywhere you come from, the metro stretches out into Virginia and Maryland. Easy to get to. Out of all the record stores, probably the easiest record store to get to in DC. All right, so I'm going to show two other record stores I went to in DC. One was Some Records, S-O-M. I think that's how you pronounce it. And like all these used stores, they're as good as the last collection they got in. I didn't see much, but I am into James Newton, and I was able to pick up this James Newton record from 83 on Gramavision. I have one other. It sounds great, but this lineup's killer. John Blake on violin, Anthony Davis piano, Slide Hampton trombone, Billy Hart drums, Jay Haggard on vibraphone, and Cecil McBee on bass. Don't sleep on James Newton. When you see one, pick it up. They're not expensive, good records. Next was a record I have been looking for. It fills out my Chico Hamilton Indian Navigation, The Search. Here it is. And the record store I got that at is Just Custody. That's a great record store. Go to Just Custody. Nice site, huge jazz collection section. They have other stuff too. It's a good all-around record store, and the cool thing they do is they actually write the grade of the record on a sticker and the price So you saw what I paid on this. And here's one question, and I have to see who signed this. I don't know if that's an autograph or the person who owned it from before. It doesn't look like it says Chico Friedman, but I'll have to look up and see who that is that's on here. But I'll do that later. So here's another record I've been looking for on Muse. It's a reissue Muse did. I forget the original label that it came out on, but this is Walter Bishop Jr. A reissue on Muse. I guess they did this Muse Forever series. This is just a trio with Jimmy Garrison and G.T. Hogan. This was issued in 74, but it's from a 1961 session, which I've streamed. It's quite good. So I've been looking for this one. Next one is Charles McPherson Horizons. This is with Cedar Walton, Pat Martino, Nasir Hussain, Walter Booker, and Billy Higgins from 60, doesn't say, it's a preview copy, and I believe it is a blue Trident. Let's see how my memory holds. No, blue Trident. And it's not a Van Gelder, but it's in beautiful condition. It's really nice. And then last but not least, I found a sealed copy of the next record. Just let me stick this back in the plastic sleeve. And it is a Kenny Burrell Live at the Village Vanguard. I know he did one in the 60s. This is from 78 with Larry Giles and Sherman Ferguson. It is sealed. This is from 1980 on Muse. So that's the last one, and that's from Just Custody. Good record store. Go there. But as I started this video, and the main of it is go to Decibel. Brand new record store. Support them. You will not be sorry if you go in there for jazz, soul, and blues. They do have some rock stuff, and you will see in the footage that I post with this video. Good stuff. And until next time, the waxed out. Bye-bye.